and Anya, namaste.
Hello.
Great to see you.
I'm from India. Anya, have you ever been here?
Never desperate to go.
If you met Furiosa in real life for the first time, what is the one thing you would want to ask her?
Oh, I'd want to give her a hug.
What about you, Chris? If you met Dr. Dementis,
What is your problem?
Who hurt you?
Give him a good
Who
punch.
hurt
Punch
you?
in the head.
what is the one thing that both of you gave each other that made you more comfortable and enhanced your performance for this film?
It really helps when you like each other.
It does. It'll be so problematic to see the other person's face
yeah.
otherwise on set, and
yeah.
the work would be
We'd be
really
in separate
bad.
rooms.
Exactly.
Furiosa! We've come too far. Furiosa! They took Furiosa!
Hi everybody, my name is Sakshima Srivastava and I hope that all of you are happy and healthy. Today on the show I have Chris Hemsworth and Anya Taylor-Joy for Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Chris and Anya, namaste. Hello.
Hello.
Great to see you.
So I'm from India. Chris, you have a connection with India. You were here like previously. Anya, have you ever been here?
Never desperate to go.
Coming to Furiosa, congratulations on a terrific movie and terrific performances. I mean, I was in complete awe, and I hope that it reaches millions and millions of people. So congratulations on an amazing film, first of all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start with you, Anya. If you met Furiosa in real life for the first time, what is the one thing you would want to ask her?
Oh, I'd want to give her a hug. I'd want to give her the biggest hug and be like, girl, I see you. I know you feel like nobody does, but I see you. Yeah, I would be in absolute respect and awe of her.
She did go through a lot. What about you, Chris? If you met Dr. Dementis, what would you ask him?
What is your problem? Get back on your meds, mate.
Who hurt you?
Give him a good
Who
punch.
hurt
A good
you?
punch in the head. I said, where did you get that teddy bear from? Yeah, very complicated, dangerous individual. I don't know that I'd want to cross paths with him. It might be a little scary.
Is there any department where you sympathize with him? Because they say every villain has a story of their own. Is there somewhere you understand him and know where he comes from? And you feel bad for him?
Yeah, I mean, I had to come up with a way to understand, where he was from and what he had been through that had altered his emotional, mental state, his sort of physical being that we see on screen, which is a violent, complicated, loud person, and developing a bit of a backstory that, look, he's also a product of the wasteland and in a space where it's sort of a kill or be killed, and so life is cheap. This is the byproduct of that. But it's really interesting sort of character study on how different people respond to suffering, and then Furiosa has a far more noble response, whereas Dr. Dementis begins to just be a part of the cycle of trauma that will continue to be passed on from him to someone else.
That's true. He has a lot of layers and dimensions, like Miller said. Now, as co-stars, it is so important to be comfortable with each other. And I feel that when you are, you also enhance each other's performances. I'm going to ask each of you for your answers for this. But what is the one thing that both of you gave each other that made you more comfortable and enhanced your performance for this film?
Oh my goodness. Chris gave me support. I was very isolated on this movie. That was just the journey that Furiosa kind of went down. I remember when we met up again, you really supported me in a couple of things, and I massively respect that.
Oh, sure. I was incredibly inspired by what Anya was doing with the character and how fiercely protective she was of Furiosa, as though it was a real living, breathing person that needed to be taken care of. One example, I was talking about what my character was going to do within a scene, to give the bear to the young Furiosa, and then he said, "Well, hang on, she wouldn't take the bear," and I hadn't really thought about that, and I thought, "Oh, okay," and then we discussed it with George, and he said, "Oh no, that's a great point." So then I give it to her, but then she drops it, and the ripple effect of those little actions, and the ripple effect of how passionate she was about the character, not just what she was doing on screen, but what the young version of her was also doing. To have some agency and ownership to that too was massively impressive, and I think inspired everyone on set. You know, she really raised the bar, and
Thanks, dude.
we all tried to keep up.
Thank you.
How nice. I love the way you both talk about each other. It's amazing to see this kind of chemistry.
It really helps when you like each other.
It does. It'll be so problematic to see the other person's face
yeah.
otherwise on set,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the work would be
We'd be
really
in separate
bad.
rooms.
Exactly.
True. Okay, and the next one is so much is left to imagination with a movie like this because there's so much CGI involved and there's this another world that you're shooting in. Which element was the hardest to imagine while performing on for both of you?
The one that I thought, this is going to sound really boring, but I just thought it was so impressive. I remember on our first ever day of filming, we were shooting outside, we're in Broken Hill, and it's absolutely pouring down with rain. I don't know what it is about George Miller trying to make a desert movie, but it just makes it rain, like every single time. And I just looked at George and I was like, we can't shoot in this. Like, there's no way that it's going to match. And he showed me the monitor and the sky was perfect.
Yeah,
the
wow.
colors were perfect and I could not understand it.
Yeah.
It was really impressive.
No, I don't think that's boring at all. That's not boring. It's insightful to what are the actual struggles when you're on set shooting. Well, thank you so much, Chris and Anya. It was such a pleasure talking to you both. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
There will always be war, but to get home, Furiosa fought the world.